Welcome to Coming In Hot. Thank you live from Airplay Beats for the intro music. We are recording live from Darling New Media Studios in Midtown Sac. All right, everybody, this is part 3, my final podcast on myself. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So we left off and I started talking about when I started drinking again. But I do have to back it up a little bit just because I met my wife. I met Veronica Garza winter of 2012. It was actually on, I don't know if you guys remember, Plenty of Fish. Is that still around? Producer Gigi, is that still around? Yeah, so Plenty of Fish. It was a joke for me to get on. This is back when I was looking good. I was skinny. I was taking care of myself. And one of my buddies who I'm gonna keep his name out of it, but one of my buddies came to me and was like, "Cease, you look good. You'll kill it on this app." And at this time, I'm just in the kitchen. I'm doing my thing. I'm not, really into the dating scene at all. I was just, trying to cook and get to that next level, trying to put my whole life into food because that's what I wanted to do. I'm a single guy, no kids. So, I wanted to get to that next level. We're sitting there one day, I think we were watching football. After the football game, my boy just made me a profile and I was on Plenty of Fish. Now, I've never been on any dating apps or anything like that. But I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, but I started getting bombarded with all kinds of, females, some good, some bad, some people. It was a strange world for me. Never been pursued by that many women in my life. And it got too much for me after maybe a day, just back and forth messaging and, doing all kinds of talking. I just didn't have the time. So I go to delete this app and I get a message from Veronica Garza. We started chatting, said, "Hey, I'm not really with this app dating. Can I get your number?" And we started texting after that. Had our first date with at Blue Q. I don't know if everybody knows about Blue Q, but that was the spot back in the day. Blue pool tables. Go there, meet my wife, had a wonderful time, and we were inseparable from that day on. So for all the boys and girls out there, and you guys, you might be out there dating, and I know this is a cliche to say, but when you find the one, you find the fucking one. And it's that person that doesn't judge. It's that person that loves you unconditionally. It's that person when you tell them that you got 3 DUIs, you've been to jail, they look past that and they look right at you and they believe in you and they want to know that you'll take care of them. And that's what me and my wife have still to this day. But, I fucked up because we're inseparable. We got married September 7th, 2013. And, we had a great time together. We were best friends. We still are best friends to this day. And I don't know what it was, but I picked up the bottle again. I can't say why it happened, when it happened. I just know that I shouldn't be drinking. And I knew I shouldn't have put my family through what I put them through. But I did. I was sneaking around. My wife knew I was acting a little funny, but she never saw the drunk Cecil. So it was just, her thinking I'm stressed out. You know, erratic behavior, you know, pissing on myself for no fucking reason, or asking what the hell's wrong with you. And I'm just saying, oh, I'm stressed. But, you know, it was me. It was that drunk Cecil. It came out. Had my daughter as a drunk. You know, Vivian, the love of my life right there. The sparkle in my eye, the reason I get up every morning and go as hard as I do. Yeah, I was a drunk. I was probably tipsy when she was born. No lie. So this goes on for a long time, maybe 3.5 years. Finally came down to my wife sitting me down. My dad getting involved, my stepmom getting involved. At this time, I got let go from Bella Brew. They said it was just time to part ways. I agreed, but this whole time, you know, might have been because of the drinking. Maybe it was the same shit that was going on in my personal life. It was going into my job, but you know, that's what alcohol does to people that shouldn't be drinking alcohol. It takes you into so many different places. And, you know, I was treating alcohol like it was I was cheating on my wife. I was sneaking around. I had bottles hidden everywhere. You know, she'll open the freezer and a bottle will fall out. Oh, where is this from? I'll blame it on somebody else. But, you know, yeah, and this went on. I started a business. I started Cecil's Taste, my first food truck during this time. My dad and my stepmom put up the money for it. We were partners in it, and just more stressed on top of me. It was okay. It was great food. My marketing wasn't what it should have been. You know, not getting the best gigs in the world, but, you know, I was grinding it out. Scotty Mack, one of my best friends in the whole world, he was on my side. We started that thing together, spent, you know, 2 years back to back, you know, just trying to get through life on a food truck, trying to figure everything out. Again, I don't know where I'd be without Scotty Mack. One of the best dudes, most loyal guys you'll ever meet in your life. But again, you know, he knew I was drinking. He's seen the drunk Cecil before. He knows what it was about. He knew how I looked. He told me every day, like, hey man, you know, you need to get that shit under control. You know, you got a wife, you got kids, you know, you need to figure all that out. But I wasn't trying to listen. So 2016, this is around Christmas. Had a big drunken episode before Thanksgiving, you know, blacked out drunk. My wife found me, you know, told me I need to get my shit together. She's over here trying to help me, looking up rehab stuff. I'm going, taking these meetings, not taking it seriously. And then there was an incident few days before New Year's where, you know, my dad got involved. Veronica had to call my dad and was like, hey, you know, I can't control this guy. You need to come over here and get him. My dad picks me up. I don't even remember this stuff. I was so blacked out. I don't even remember, but I woke up in my dad's house, you know, come out, don't know what's going on. At that point, my dad and my stepmom sat me down and said, hey, you're losing everything. You're going to lose your family. You're going to lose, you know, your kids. You're going to lose us. You're going to lose your wife. You're going to lose everything just because you can't get this shit under control. they're majority owners of Cecil's Taste and One Soul LLC. And, you know, it was get help or don't get help. On one hand, I could do whatever the fuck I want to do, right? I could be that selfish person and be like, fuck it, get on a plane and move wherever I want to move, leave everything behind. And nobody's there to tell me I can't. On the other hand, I got a family. I got a daughter. Do I want her to be without her father? So I came to the decision that I needed to get help. Went into outpatient program through Kaiser. Big shout out to Kaiser out there. But at the same time, I started going to therapy. I going to Kaiser and them, we're going through different classes and different kinds of, scenarios and how to, get out of the drinking. But like I said in the last episode, they were pushing us towards the 12-step programs and things like that. And I was going to meetings. I was going to meetings daily, and as much as I can because, I still have a business to run. So I was going as much as I can. I'd say I was up to about 5 days, just going and trying to figure it out. And then I hit my second tier of the Kaiser program where I met Lupe. And Lupe, I wouldn't be here without her because she showed me a different approach to dealing with addiction, which was a more holistic approach, a self-care approach, because addiction is just a surface kind of thing, I believe. But when you start digging deeper and you start taking care of yourself, you start eating right, you start exercising, it changes a lot. It clears you up. It gives you the vision that you never had before. Because I believe for me, and I'm not trying to bash any kind of 12-step programs, but for me, it wasn't for me because I'm really not a follower, and when you get into the 12 steps, you have to follow these rules. And one thing anybody ever tell you about me is that I'm a leader and, I make the fucking rules, but I needed to get inside of myself and figure out why I would put my family through this much pain and sorrow and heartache. And for some reason, taking this more self-care approach, it just clicked. And the clarity brought me to, okay, I don't think, this Kaiser program is everything that I need. So I looked up a therapist, a Black male therapist, and I started going to Malachi. Shout out to Malachi out there. Hopefully you're doing well, my man. But I needed to start my therapy with a Black male because there's some stuff that only Black men go through that nobody else can really, get to the bottom to, unless it's somebody that's went through it. Being a Black man in America, it's a tough fucking job. And it's something that you don't get to choose. You don't get to choose your skin color, when you're born. You don't get to choose your parents. I'm sure everybody's heard that, but, your parents are your parents. But, being a Black man in America is a fucking dangerous job. So I felt that I needed to have a Black male therapist to begin this journey into therapy. So I tag team, therapy with the Kaiser program. If it wasn't for Lupe, because I was already wavering on the Kaiser program, literally the only reason I got through that first tier is because there was nothing else I could do. Like I had to go to, those 3 days. I just had to, but I choked it down. And by that second tier, that second phase of Kaiser, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. But then meeting Lupe for my second and third tier of the program, it made it a little bit more easy. Lupe never judged. Lupe never pushed you in one way or another, or, told you had to do the 12 steps. You had to do this. She just kind of gave me a roadmap of, hey, this has worked for other people. Maybe it'll work for you. And I'll never forget Lupe. I would never forget Malachi. Hopefully you're doing good out there. When the pandemic hit, Malachi, he just kind of disappeared. So hopefully you're doing good out there. Hopefully you listen to this, Malachi. It's an everyday, struggle, with alcohol. It's not like that I'm, thinking about it every day, but I just want people to understand that addiction is something that's worked on a daily basis. It's worked on through, talking about it. If anybody out there is ever struggling, hit me up at Chef Cease, on all social media platforms. I field questions all day about business, about addiction, just hit me up. I'm here for anybody. Back to the story though. So I finished up Kaiser as an 18-month program. And the funny thing about all of this is that, I'm back in therapy with Lupe. She's not at Kaiser anymore, but after Malachi kind of ghosted me, I went searching for her and found her and kind of told her, like I'm doing good, but I just need, I need a therapist that kind of knows what I'm going through, and I could just pick up and just keep rolling with it. So, again, big shout out to Lupe. Helps me, every Monday at 10, standing appointment. Again, if you guys out there, you guys need help, hit me up. I'll shoot you in the right direction. Dr. Mondo, which has been on here, another good guy to reach out to if you're struggling with anything. So you guys heard like the pretty much where I'm going to leave all this at. Yeah, of course, Nash and Proper is around. But I just kind of wanted to, leave it there. Producer Ash was here. She already told me I gave you guys too much. Save it for the book. But there's a lot of people that have been in and out of my life that I want to kind of shout out. The first person, and I talked about it in the beginning of the show, is my wife. She's my angel. She's my life. I feel that we went through everything that we went through for a reason. None of this shit was her fault. She didn't sign up for any of it, but she stood by my side. And that's one thing that, when you're in a relationship, you need to understand, like, that person doesn't need to be there. That person doesn't need to have your back like my wife had my back for, the first 5 years of being together, like she could have left. Good looking woman. Could have anybody out there, but she chose to stick around. She chose to have a family with me. And it's something that, I think especially Black women in America need to be upheld just a little bit more of what they do, because all they hear growing up is hold your man down, hold your man down. But who the fuck is there to hold them down? And that's one thing that, I try to do on a daily basis with my wife. She takes care of so much. She takes care of the house. She takes care of, just the little shit that people take for granted. And hopefully she listens to this one. She don't listen to my podcast. I don't think she want to know what I'm talking about on here. But, big shout out to Veronica Rhodes. Love you, baby. Big shout out to my pops, to my moms. They've kind of been, just those parents. And, like I get upset at my at my kids and say, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to let them get away with shit. But, my parents have always stood by me through this whole fucking journey. And, hopefully they're proud of what their son is doing today. Big shout out to my step parents, Pat and Paul. Same thing. They saw, the whole fucking journey, the drugs, the alcohol, the lying, and they could have gave up on me as well. They could have told my parents, like, why are you even dealing with this stuff? Because I don't know what the fuck I would do if, I married somebody with a 19-year-old son that was a fucking complete maniac. Paul and Pat, love you. And, to my Nash and Proper partner, I haven't talked about Jake too much on here. Been kind of trying to keep people's names out of it, but again, Jake, one of those people that have seen the ups and downs of me. But at the end of the day, whenever I needed him, he was always there. We fight like a married couple. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, great business partner, great mind, straight up Renaissance man, person. When he puts his mind to something, he gets that shit done. He figures it out. And I love him for that, because he doesn't give up. My managers, Matt Rocha, Willie Egan, they both been on here. You guys run the company. Appreciate everything you guys do. And there's a lot of people behind the scenes that help out. Maria Woodard. Hopefully she could get on here, but she takes care. If you guys saw the progression of Nash and Proper from the beginning to where we are right now, remember Maria Woodard. She's the person that taking care of a lot of stuff in the back of us getting to where we are today. There's a person that's on the staff, came on about a year ago. She will remain nameless because she wants to be nameless. If you saw what happened this last year with the publicity and all that stuff, big shout out to her. Appreciate you. Keep killing it. Keep doing your thing. And I have the greatest crew, and I think the Proper crew doesn't get um, enough, shout outs from me around town. You might see me on wherever you see me at, commercials, anything, happening in SAC. But the proper crew, they proper as hell. They get shit done. They go out there, they give it their all on a daily basis. Yes, it's not perfect, but to sit out here and in 110-degree heat in a food truck, it's a lot to ask for somebody, but they do it. They might not do it with a smile, but they're out there doing their thing, and wouldn't be here without them. And again, this journey with the podcast too. Big shout out to Nate, Darling New Media Studios in Midtown SAC. If you guys are looking to, do a podcast or thinking about doing a podcast, come talk to the, I call him the Godfather of Sacramento podcast, because, he's been doing this thing for a minute now. Great studio. Appreciate you, Nate. And, I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to give you like a whole hour of me just blabbing. I just want to thank everybody for, listening to this. It wasn't easy. I know there's a lot of pauses in here, but it needed to be told. It's therapeutic to me to do these kind of things. When I start writing the book, it'll be a little bit more in depth. I might not look like the best person when I write the book. But, at the end of the day, I do this and I'm talking to the people out there that are struggling. If you're struggling with any kind of addiction, if you're struggling with, family, if you're struggling with the relationship, talk it out, because holding that shit in is no good. If you're a balloon and you're filling up that balloon and you're holding all that shit in, the balloon pops, right? So, get the help you need. If you need me, like I said, at Chef Cease on all social media, sliding those DMs. Let's get out of here. If you want that delicious, mouth-watering chicken sandwich, hit us up, www.nashandproper.com, at nashandproper, at nashandproper.eg. We're on DoorDash now everywhere, so you can get your food delivered. There's going to be some huge announcements coming soon about Nash and Proper expansion. I'm pretty excited about what this next year is going to bring. Thank you for coming in and listening to Coming In Hot with Chef Cease. Love you. Peace.